Alright, so this is hopefully part one in a series of videos about how to install a taper attachment for a Grizzly G4003 lathe. The model of this attachment is the T10556. And I just received it recently. This is for a new to me lathe that I believe was built in 1999. And this attachment looks like it's not going to work for this lathe. So I reached out to Grizzly and I asked for a response about a few things. One of the big things is this shaft right here with the gear is too wide in diameter to fit into the housing underneath the cross slide, and then the gear sits too far forward in the machine, or I guess more towards the back of the machine, and won't actually align up with the corresponding gear below it. So like right where my finger's at is where the gear would be sitting. So this part doesn't work for this lathe. I'm thinking they revised their parts over the years and I'm gonna have to get some assistance with that. Next, we've got the lead screw nut here. The lead screw nut is supposed to have a hole in it that links it to where the bolt is right here in the cross slide, and yeah, that's defective. So we can't do anything with that either. So I've got a couple email questions for Grizzly and hopefully we can get some resolution. So moving forward, I went through the rest of the instructions, and this is one of the critical steps here where you have to mount this whole body block to the back of the lathe. And it calls for you to set it up. It says have somebody hold it, and then it says to use a center punch and mark out the holes and then drill it out. So I picked up these lab jacks off Amazon, and they can hold up to about 11 pounds, and it allows you to very incrementally adjust the height. So I put the body assembly on some blocks of wood and put one of those jacks underneath it, and was able to get this lined up pretty well. Now this isn't like the final position of it or anything, but this is just me prototyping here. So using a clamp and that whole jack assembly, I was able to put this thing right where it needs to be. It's nice and solid, it's not moving, and I'm not worried about it falling off. So the next problem I encountered was that you need a very small center punch to be able to do this. Now this hole I think is like a 10 millimeter. This was a 10 millimeter bolt, but with the threads it won't actually fit in there. So I turned it down and then I put a taper on the end of it for a center punch. And this one happened to have a recess in the back for an Allen after I turned the head of it off. And I think that'll work great for putting another punch inside of there to transfer that center. So you're going to need to make a custom center that will get you past this little block right here, because you can't get in there with it otherwise. You can use a transfer punch for the dowel pin though, and that is a 3/16 dowel pin that I have measured. So that'll fit there. And those holes are on both sides. So once you get the holes center punched, I'm planning on using my mag drill. I'm sure you could just manually drill it and hope for the best, but I'm going to use my mag drill just so everything stays aligned, and I think there's enough meat on here to get the mag drill to go. I'll drill that out for both holes, and then I will use the mag drill to center the tap in there as well. And that, I believe, is an M10 by 1.5 right there. I'm not going to do anything until I get a response from Grizzly on this, just to make sure that I can actually affix this to the lathe. Once I get that response, then I'll actually go through and put these holes in here and do some additional videos for y'all. So stand by on that, and hopefully there's some more videos to make.